Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here for a quick update in the case of Tim Norman, or James Timothy Norman, who is the son of Robbie Montgomery, the owner of Sweetie Pies, and you guys know that they appeared on the reality TV show on the OWN network, Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Well, in my last update on the case, we talked about Terica Ellis. She finally went before a judge in St. Louis, and she was denied bond, and her lawyers were trying to argue that she needed to be released because she has a 2-year-old daughter that suffers from a severe case of sickle cell anemia. But the judge did not agree that she needed to be released, and so she was held over. And Tim was supposed to have a hearing, but he refused to appear before the camera, and so they postponed the hearing, and that hearing actually took place today. It was a very brief hearing in which Tim pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him. And so Federal Chief Magistrate Judge Nanette Baker heard arguments in a detention hearing for Norman on Tuesday, which was today, but has not yet made a decision if Norman will be held in custody while awaiting trial. And so we know that Tim is not going to get bond, because if they give him bond, then they need to go back and give Terica bond. So I'm not sure why she's delaying this. And then his attorney, John Rogers, argued that Tim is not likely a flight risk and should be released to stay with Ms. Robbie, who lives in St. Louis. Now, has Ms. Robbie agreed to let Tim come live with her is the question. I'm thinking she probably doesn't want Tim in her home at this point. And so prosecutors have said that the nature of the crime, the volume of evidence in the case, and Norman's criminal record should require that he be held until trial. And so Norman's co-defendant, Terica Ellis, as I told you guys, she pleaded not guilty in federal court last month, and she was denied a bond. And so prosecutors alleged that Norman paid Ellis about $10,000 to lure Andre onto Natural Bridge Avenue in St. Louis, where he was killed. And so if you're not familiar with this case, Andre Montgomery is the grandson of Robbie Montgomery and the nephew of Tim Norman. And so Andre was killed in 2016, and it was a part of this, well, not his actual murder, but after he was killed, they did like a memorial and pretty much did a tribute to Andre and covered, violence in St. Louis throughout the season on Welcome to Sweetie Pies, and just raising awareness about, predominantly black on black crime that's taking place in St. Louis. And so all along, Tim knew that he was a part of getting his nephew killed, but he went along with it as though, he wasn't even too good at pretending that he was hurt or upset about what had happened to Andre. And if you guys want to learn more about this case, if you're not familiar with it, I will tag some links to my prior coverage, but I really just wanted to give a quick update. And for those of you following, you know that the basis of the case that the government is going to put forth is that the reason Tim killed Andre, or had Andre killed, had to do with $200,000 in cash that was stolen from Miss Robbie's home. And so, according to a detective in the case, Andre had been questioned by police in the burglary 4 days before he was shot, but told investigators he was not involved and thought that Tim was behind the burglary. And so Tim is also accused of taking out, the life insurance policies totaling $450,000 on Andre back in 2014, making himself the sole beneficiary according to court documents. And he tried to collect on the policies after the murder, but was not paid. And so also indicted in this case, along with Tim and Terica, is the insurance agent whose name is Wally Yagnan. And so he, kind of made the news because he is a producer who worked on one of Nelly is a rapper, on his 2002 album Nellyville. And so he is out on bond, but he is charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud. And I'm sure that he, probably loses insurance license. And I really don't think that he was part of the conspiracy to kill Andre. I think that he was just a shady insurance man that let Tim bypass certain rules and laws in order to get this policy. And I believe I mentioned in a previous video, or I might have wrote this in the comments that somebody made on a previous video, but when I got life insurance on myself, I had to undergo a physical, I had to do blood work, I had to put forth all this information. And so I don't know how Tim was able to get this insurance policy if the guy didn't relax the rules. And then I also help small business owners, run their administrative end of their operations. And I have worked with guys who have taken out life insurance policies on other people, but those people have to agree to allow them to, 1, take out the policy, and 2, to be named as beneficiary on the policy, because even when they were taking out the policies on these employees, the employees still had a right to say who they wanted the beneficiary to be, or a co-beneficiary. So I believe that the Wally guy basically just bypassed all that and let Tim get this policy. He probably had no idea that, 2 years down the road, that Tim would actually be involved in Andre's death. So guys, that's it for me. Like I said, it was just going to be a quick update, because nothing really happened other than Tim pleading not guilty and the defense team saying that they don't think that he's a flight risk and should be allowed out and await trial. And I don't think that that's going to happen, because Terica is being held over until trial. And then the same thing with Terica's case. They're saying that they could face life in prison, but because of the nature of the crime, it could also qualify for the death penalty. And in federal cases, they have to get a review out of Washington to determine if a case will be able to apply the death penalty, and that application has already been filed. But I really don't foresee them seeking the death penalty against Tim, and it's very rare that Washington comes back with a decision that they want to pursue the death penalty. So that's it for me. Leave a comment below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.